Hi, it's me Jacqueline. Welcome to my channel. If you're new to the channel, then please subscribe my channel and visit my Patreon page, link in the description.
Good morning, girls. Did we sleep well? Yes, Aunt Jane, they chimed in unison. Pour the juice, Ginny, and take your pills, girls, and let's get on with our day. We have a lot to do, not the least of which is getting Jessie a little trim and a styling at the salon. I think we ought to get you a little different color too, dear, so that you won't be so self-conscious about looking like a girl, and we've definitely got to get those ears double pierced and some nice acrylic nails until yours grow out. You'll never get a chance to learn to use your hands like a lady if you don't have the right length nails, honey. Do I have to, auntie? You'll get used to it, honey, and then you'll like it. Pretty hands are a real asset to a girl, you'll see. And once you learn to use them properly, you'll get compliments on them, you'll see. Gee, I can't wait. Was that a facetious remark, young lady? Yes, ma'am. You're going to try my patience, aren't you, Jessie? I hope so, Aunt Jane. Ginny, go with Jessie and see that she has a nice costume to work in today, and then we are going shopping for some groceries, and don't forget the pinafore apron. Come on, Jessie. Let's get you dressed. We won't get too radical today. Now, let's see. First, brush your hair really well. That will bring out the shine, and then put it up in a ponytail and tie it with this ribbon. A ribbon, Ginny? Auntie likes things feminine, remember? Yeah. Now the bra. Hook it in front and twist it around and pull it up. Now let me show you how to get some of that flesh of yours up onto that little shelf. Just reach down between the bra and you and pull yourself up and then let go. Holy shit, Ginny. That almost looks real. Well, it is real, but they aren't really breasts yet is all. Now the satin panties. They feel nice sliding up your legs, don't they? No fair. I'm not supposed to like any of this, remember? Oh, I remember, Jessie. It's you that's going to have the hard time remembering. Tuck that thing backwards, 'cause pretty soon, that won't be happening anyway, so get used to it. Now work the pantyhose up and over your butt. Good. Now the slacks and blouse. In fact, forget the slacks. Here, put on this knee-length tight skirt. It will help you remember who you are and how to take little girl steps. Okay, let's put on the red flats and belt and you're just about done. Here's a girl's wristwatch, a bracelet, and a pendant and earrings, just clip-ons for now. Sit down at the vanity. You need a few touches. Like what? Well, for starters, those eyebrows have got to go. Ouch! I know, but after the first time, it gets easier. We've got a gizmo that removes them permanently though, and once we decide what arch looks best on you, we'll do it that way, and you'll be done with it forever. Pay attention, Jessie. This is how you do mascara. Roll the brush up and out and down and out. Now we take this little brush and do some blush really light, and now hold still and pout your lips a little. Like this? That will do. That tastes good. What is it? L'Oreal Simply Rose. Creamy, isn't it? Yeah. But I'm really going to give her a hard time about it. Suit yourself. Protest all the way. It will make her think she's winning until you figure a way out. Right. That's the idea. With a glance in the mirror, not bad. Imagine that. So began my daily little jibes about my feminization. I could always find something to complain about, and yet the changes came one after one as relentlessly as the summer rains. I gave it all I could. I really did. One day it would be wearing this or that type of skirt, and the next week it would be various styles and fabrics of blouses. The next week it was styles of shoes and getting used to various heel heights and developing my ultra-feminine walk. Boy, I hated that. I was developing an undeniable swish and could not for the life of me figure out why I was taking a certain amount of pride in mastering it. When I saw a boy checking me out, it gave me a feeling of power. It was really strange. Then it was dress styles and designs and fabrics, and I must admit, some of them were very nice and felt wonderful, but I had to keep focused on why I was doing all this, to get away as a princess and not a frog. My only problem was that the princess was beginning to appeal to me more and more. As Jess, I was certainly nothing special except a pain in the ass, but as Jessie, well, like it or not, I was having fun, even though I surely didn't want to admit it. Aunt Jane. Do I have to wear this damn lipstick? Watch your mouth, and yes, it's part of a girl's growing up. All girls want to wear lipstick, and they can't wait until they fill up their bras and can wear really high heels and dresses that show off our figures. We all want to grow up really fast so we can be sexy and pretty like our mommies. Well, you can have it, Aunt Jane. Just do as you're told, Jessie, and we'll get along. There are other ways we can do this if you want to give me a hard time. We can throw your little butt in jail for a few days dressed like that and see how you like it and all the attention you'll get from the other inmates. You can't do that. Oh, but I can. You're under a court order, remember. Now, finish up the dusting and vacuuming and we can get down to the store. We'll even get some of your favorite foods if you like. Well, that sure would be different. Mom never got any more complicated than hamburgers and pizza. Well, dear, you'll have to learn to cook meals yourself, but you'll come to enjoy it in time. Now hop to it. We don't have all day. So Ginny and I did the housework while Aunt Jane fixed the shopping list, and I want to tell you doing housework in a tight skirt is not a fun day. Ginny, take Jessie to her room and show her how we dress to go shopping and fix yourself up too, please. Yes, Aunt Jane. You mean I can't just go out in slacks? Oh, no, Jessie. Not for a while anyway. You don't set foot outside this house except looking like the perfect young lady in a skirt or a dress, and since you didn't get that skirt dirty, that one will do. Oh, just great. You're going to dress me up like a real pansy, aren't you? No, you're going to do it yourself. I'm just going to teach you how and what goes with what. Is all this really necessary, Ginny? It is if you don't want people pointing and laughing at you. Do you want to look like a boy in a dress? I don't want to look like anything in a dress, but I get the point and I know. Then the alternative is to look like a girl in a dress, isn't it? You're too damn logical, Ginny. Do you really think I can be pretty? You're letting your feminine vanity show, Jessie dear. You're fishing for a compliment. Yes, I think you are going to be a fox and I'm probably going to be jealous. Satisfied? I take the fifth. Before we went out, she made me change into a pair of shoes with a little bit of a heel and gave me a shoulder bag to carry with a few cosmetics, tissues, compact, comb, brush, and a tampon in it. Aunt Jane. A tampon? You'd be expected to have one, dear. It's just normal girl gear. Someone may ask to borrow one in the ladies' room. After we get your ears pierced, we'll get you some pretty earrings too. I don't want pretty earrings. Of course you do, dear. And they'll look very nice on you too. You have nice little girl lobes. I do not. Don't argue with me, young lady. Yes, ma'am. I heard myself say as I got a vision of those ears being cauliflowered like a wrestler's. Well, I looked in the mirror, and though I was scared out of my wits, I had to admit that I did look like a girl, a somewhat awkward girl, but a girl. The part about how to move like a lady was going to be a work in progress as they both criticized me at every move and gesture I made while we were out. And the click of those heels. That incessant tap, tap, tap. I never realized that the click of a girl's heels was part of her sexiness. That click said, "Here comes a girl, check me out." My stride was too long and I swung my arms wrong and my walk was too rigid. Loosen up, Jessie. Let that little tush loose. Let it move from the hips. Rotate a little. Jess's history. You don't need let's pretend macho anymore. Try to feel like a girl. Imitate what you see other girls do and the way they walk and gesture. Study them and pick out the things you like and copy them. If we don't like what you like, you'll hear about it soon enough. That's one of the reasons we brought you out here so soon, so you could observe and get a feeling for the role of a girl. Guess I have a lot to learn, huh? More like a lot to unlearn, honey. Something I'm sure you don't know is that all babies are girls for the first couple months, and then, if they are going to be boys, the hormones change and the equipment changes. You just have to learn to be a girl again, and everything will be back to normal. I feel foolish out here dressed like this, Aunt Jane. That too shall pass, dear. Just give yourself some time. Time to hate every minute of it, sure. You need a booster shot when we get home, Jessie. We need to block more of those nasty old boy thoughts of yours. You still have those wild impulses. You bet I do, and being a girl is not my idea of a fun day at the beach. We'll get to the fun day at the beach after your bosom comes in, dear. Like Ginny's? Considering your mom, probably even nicer than Ginny's. I'd say probably a C cup, wouldn't you, Ginny? Yes, darn it. I'm jealous. Well, you can have mine then, Ginny. Not likely, Jessie. In another couple months, you're going to be enjoying what's happening to you. You won't be able to help yourself by then. Like hell. Slap. Enough with the language, young lady. Hey, Aunt Jane, that hurt. Remember the dungeon, Jessie, and be a good girl or else. Sorry, guess I forgot about that. Okay, but I still don't have to like it. Your attitude will change along with your body, dear. And so will your mind. You can't brainwash me, Aunt Jane. I may be dressed like a girl, but I'm a boy and I'm staying one on the inside. But honey, your brain and your body are being constantly washed with lovely girl hormones, so we'll see, dear. We'll see. Yeah, on top of everything else, that's all I need. Okay, now what? Well, we really need to get you educated about skirts, but then before we go, I need to teach you how to walk and sit in one. So what's to teach? You walk. You sit. How tough can it be? It's called femininity, Jessie. We do things differently than a man. You don't want to look like a boy in a skirt, do you? I don't want to look like anything in a skirt. Well, for now, I think you'd better play along and learn the lessons, so you don't get us all embarrassed and me in trouble too. Okay. How? Well, first of all, when you sit, you smooth your skirt out underneath you so you don't get it wrinkled. Here, I'll show you. That doesn't look so hard. It isn't. You just have to remember to do it. And then there's getting into and out of the car. Bum in first and swing the legs in last and vice versa getting out. That keeps boys from looking up your skirt. As if I care. Decide to care, will you? And then there's the walk. I'm going to put you in a tight skirt so it makes you take little steps. Girls take little steps and the higher the heel, the shorter the step. Also, you need to let those hips loose, remember? Yeah, I remember. Try the skirt with that top and here's a half slip for underneath. Now for your first outing, I think we should keep you aware that you're supposed to be a girl, so wear these shoes with the mid-heels. I can't balance on those. You will be amazed at how easy it is, Jessie. There's really nothing to it. Try them on. Well, at least they fit. Feet aren't very pretty, are they? Not really, but that's why girls' shoes are made the way they are, to make your feet look nice and smaller too. Yes, they do, don't they? That's the way they're cut. Well, just a little lipstick and some cologne and we're out of here. Don't put that stuff on me. Girls like to smell nice too, Jessie. Don't you like the smell? Well, sure I like it, but just not on me. Don't be such a sissy, Jessie. Nobody's going to know you're a boy. Someone may even tell you they like your perfume. You need to know how to respond to a compliment too. Just say thank you and it was a gift of something and let it go. You'll find more girls complimenting you than boys though. Girls are freer than boys and they don't go to such pains to hide their emotions all the time, and you should try to develop that quality too. If you like another girl's hair or dress or shoes or something, tell her. She'll appreciate it. Really? And she won't think I'm coming on to her. Of course not, silly. Boys are just so inhibited, per things. Girls see each other as sisters. Boys see them as potential sex toys. We may wear sexy lingerie and pretty dresses, but that is for us too, because we like to feel sexy even if we are the only ones who know what we are wearing underneath. Boy, this sounds awfully complicated. Don't worry. The first time a boy whistles at you, you'll get the idea about why we like to look attractive, and then you'll want to be attractive. Get real, Ginny. I am real, Jessie, and you will be too, so warm up to the idea, at least for the sake of fooling Aunt Jane, okay? Okay. That's the only part of this that makes sense. I promise I'll play along, but it's not going to be easy. It will get easier. Trust me. When we get back, I'm going to teach you about all your clothes, like what they're for and what they do and when to wear them, okay? Oh, sure. I can't wait. Come on, Jessie. Enough with the attitude already. Oh, all right, but you just have to know I hate this. I think we've established that. Now can we move on from there? So we went grocery shopping and I panicked as soon as we got out of the car, but nobody pointed at me laughing and we went into the store. I needed something to hold on to for balance, so they let me push the cart, and with every step I took, there was that click, click, click. After a while though, I wasn't depending on the cart so much and strayed away from it more often. I wore a dark slim skirt and a multicolored knit top and red patina low-heeled pumps and carried a red shoulder bag. I suppose I looked all right for a teenager with pretend boobs. Thank heaven my voice hadn't changed yet. Now, I guess it never would. In girls' clothes, it was easy to take me for just another girl out shopping with mom and sis. Oh, well, I was stuck, at least for the moment. There weren't any problems except for me tripping going up a curb. Getting used to carrying a wallet inside a purse was a little weird too. Some skirts did have useful pockets, but not the tight ones. Jane remembered to take me to get my ears pierced, and that was not a lot of fun. It hurt. And now I was stuck with sparkly earrings, just another thing that screamed, "I'm a girl," to the world. I got sparkly studs in the tops and little real gold hoops in the bottoms. We got home without a problem, and after unpacking the groceries, Ginny took me to my room for my lessons. How I dreaded this. The first thing she did was wet down my hair with this foam goo and comb it through, and then put all my hair up on curlers, and I had to leave it that way. And then it was help with dinner and clean up and watch TV and get into my slinky nightie with my training bra and off to bed, and don't forget to take your pill time. You mean I have to wear these stupid curlers to bed? Well, you could get a permanent, came the reply. After a night on curlers, I decided the permanent was the lesser of two evils and asked for one. 2 days later, I had super curly ringlets all over my head with a few hanging down by my ears. Well, I surely didn't have any trouble thinking about looking like a girl anymore. It was now built into the system. Now I could wear bib overalls and Farmer John boots, and I still screamed, "Girl." Some of the other girls actually dressed that way, and there surely wasn't any doubt about their being girls either. Wow! What just a few little changes could make in a guy's appearance. Even I was having trouble thinking of myself as a guy anymore despite the shriveling stuff between my legs. Things went pretty much the same for the next week except for my hair. Since I had complained so much about the curlers, they had a plan. That was the next thing they were going to fix their attention on. Not only did they like me in the ringlets, but since I had a fair complexion and some freckles and a dimple, and Ginny thought I'd look great as a redhead, and Aunt Jane agreed. All right, my blonde hair was what they call mousy, but red? You mean really red? No, dear. Maybe just a really light auburn or a strawberry blonde, rather like a blonde with a lot of reddish highlights. It should look very pretty with your complexion. Are you going to do it, Aunt Jane? I don't think that would be a good idea this time, dear. My friend Glenda at the salon did Ginny's, and I'm sure she will do a wonderful job with yours too. Oh, great. You mean I have to go into a beauty salon with a bunch of women and have my hair and everything done by a woman who knows I'm a boy? Well, of course, dear. Where else would a girl go for a makeover? Makeover? I stuttered. Well, you've been such a good girl this past week. I've decided to get you. The work's complete with a facial, massage, leg and bikini wax and everything. You'll be there half a day, but when you come out, you won't recognize yourself. You'll just love it. They'll treat you like royalty and pamper you to death. I'm sure you've never experienced anything like it. Men have no idea what they're missing. You'll wear a pretty dress in there, and when you come out you'll look just wonderful in it. I was afraid you were going to say, Queen. No, dear. You are going to look like a real girl when they are finished, and I think even you will be impressed with the results. Never. Remember James Bond, dear. Never say never. Heaven help me. You may as well get used to the idea, Jessie. As long as you can't avoid becoming a girl, at least you may as well be a pretty one. You would come up with an intelligent argument. No, you're right. I don't want to look like a pig. Okay, let them do their worst or best, whatever. I guess I'll live though it somehow. That's a good girl. Take it in stride. You'll feel better about yourself in the long run. Later that night, after I was made to look so female I couldn't pass for a boy, even wearing fatigues and army boots. Ginny, what am I going to do? She's turning me into some damn teen model or something. Well, for one thing, think about that for a minute. Who would stand a better chance of getting a ride out of town or a job or a sugar daddy, a nerdy little wimp like Jess or a cute little fox who maybe even could be a teen model? Whoa, there's that darn logic of yours again. I see your point. Sure. I'll go ahead and let her change my appearance as gorgeous as I can be, and I'll learn all this girly stuff I need to know to pull it off, and then I can bug out of here a lot easier. That's absolutely brilliant, Ginny. Why didn't I think of that? Because you've been too intent on the little picture. You need to focus on the long-range view, Jessie. Get it? Wow, yes, I get it. Okay. I'm going to blow her mind. How long before those shots and stuff really change me for good? Oh, maybe 6 months total, give or take. Okay. I can wait that long, and in the meantime, I'll perfect this girly act. When I'm done, you won't be able to pick me out in any lineup of real girls, and that's how I'll get away, like a tree hiding in the forest. Sounds like a plan, Jessie, but you're going to be a very pretty tree. It'll probably work too. Aunt Jane won't even see it coming until it's too late, and then you'll be gone. I'm really going to miss you. I know we haven't had the times we used to, but I've really enjoyed this time with you. You know I love you. Cut out that mushy stuff, Jenny. I'm, well, really fond of you too, but... And then, for whatever reason, I hugged Ginny. It was a typical feminine reaction, and it scared me. As I suspected, I was not allowed to return to school that second semester, and thus had the entire balance of that plus the summer to work on my plan. Ginny tutored me in everything she knew about being a girl, and that turned out to be quite a lot, considering how late she came to it herself. I learned how to dress and to move like a girl, and how to talk like one, and how to be animated like a girl. I learned how to scream and to giggle and practiced expressions in the mirror and found out I had a fairly nice soprano singing voice. I decided to go at it like it was a part in a play, and I was just learning my part, only I was going to learn every teeny-weeny little thing there was to know about it before I was through. So, I played her little game. I took my pills and my shots without a whimper, paid attention to my every move as though my life depended on it, to the point that if you looked up the word feminine in the dictionary, my picture would be there beside it. Learned how to coordinate blouses and skirts and hose and shoes and belts and purses. Ginny taught me how to care for and fix my own hair, now down to my shoulder blades in becoming styles. And she also taught me how to do makeup, from the very innocent to the very naughty, and my large doe eyes with their beautifully arched brows could no longer be mistaken for those of a boy, even if I only wore a little mascara. My pretty nails were a half-inch beyond my fingertips in vivid shades of pinks and reds, and the movements of my hands became those of a girl with long, pretty nails. I learned how to pick things up in a very naturally feminine way due to my nails. I'd made up my mind that if I could get out of here, nobody was going to be able to blow my cover. I was having a little problem, though. As time went on and my education progressed, I was feeling less and less like maybe all this wasn't so much of a prison but a privilege. Boy, now that was a personal revelation I wasn't expecting. Becoming a girl like my cousin was an absolute nightmare when I arrived, and now, well, now I was feeling a little rivalry between us to see who could be more feminine and attractive. My full and pouting lips were never without a creamy, shiny, inviting color. I learned how to walk in 3-inch high heels with a provocative sway to my hips, how to bend and sit and stand, and even how to acknowledge and return a boy's admiring glances. In other words, how to flirt and get away with it. And all the while, I was plotting my escape. Aunt Jane had borrowed the son of a friend to teach me how to dance and follow a boy's lead while wearing high heels. Those hormones I had to take had made me soft, robbed me of my muscle tone, and thrust upon me measurements of 36-24-36.5, and finally, after 6 months of enduring this torture, I was ready. I had to wear a B-cup bra, and it was exactly full. The only problem I had with that was when I was washing in the tub, or sometimes if I fondled myself a little, I got the neatest sensations and I would really become flushed and would feel even hornier than when I used to play with it. Finally, I had become the fox and had lots of hounds chasing me, which was rather a lot of fun, actually. Everybody told me I was pretty, and I'm afraid I really wanted to believe them. I wanted to be pretty and popular and sought after. I even wanted to be a good student. Now, where did that come from? I had indeed become a tree capable of blending in with all the others in the forest. I had several best girlfriends and went to slumber parties and endless shopping trips to the mall, both shopping for clothes and cruising for boys. For boys? My GWD, what was happening to my head? I was actually looking at boys as sex objects, just like I knew they were looking at me, just like my girlfriends were looking at them. If I wasn't gay, what was I? Did I really now have the mind of a girl? I was having dreams involving boys and dates and petting, and I'd wake up in a sweat. By August, when I appeared at the swimming pool, heads would turn at my now overflowing B-plus bosom with the push-up pads in my suit, and for the most part, I would politely ignore them as I strode to my favorite sunning spot in my little yellow bikini, or sometimes the green one. I flirted with the lifeguard, and even dated him a couple times. My cousin Ginny had taught me all she knew about wearing girls' clothing and existing in a girl's world, and took pains to have me notice the delightful and sensuous feelings of a lacy bra or a slip as it caressed my nylon-clad legs. The hug of satiny panties on my expanded bottom covering my noticeably enlarged hip bones that gave me the appearance of a true girl whose body had been made ready for the bearing of children as opposed to just being well padded. The fact of the matter was that I had taken on the skeletal structure of a female because I was so young when all this started. She educated me about pretty shoes and the effect a well-turned ankle in a lovely high-heeled shoe has on a man. My bosom, once the most hated symbol of my advancing femininity, had changed in character and size and sensitivity to the point that I was able to derive considerable pleasure from my tender areola, and found that since I could no longer avoid the advances of boys, that they could make me feel good too, especially with their mouths and tongue as well as their hands, and got used to wearing a pad when out on a date to discourage further advances. But the thing that really bothered me the most was that I was attracted exclusively to boys, loved their attentions and how they made me feel. Even I couldn't tell me from any other girl anymore. Was I a girl or was I gay? I didn't have a clue, and to be honest, I'm not sure I cared all that much. What was happening to my getaway plan? When I began school in September, it was as Jessica and Foster. No one knew of my former life except the principal. My plan to learn everything there was to know about femininity had certainly worked, but my plan for running away was somehow forgotten, replaced, and sublimated by all the fun I was having being Jessie. The wild streak that I had taken so much pleasure in was gone, as were the little causes of that streak. They had been surgically removed, leaving only an empty sack behind to be used later for something else when I got a little older. I had gotten quite used to wearing my gaff and was accepted by my peers in the school and in the locker room of the girls' gym. I'd found myself becoming a gung-ho cheerleader and played a mean game of tennis in my teeny tennis skirt with its revealing panties. I'd been saving my money quite a while toward my escape from this open prison and was still saving my babysitting money, but now it was in hopes that it would be used when Bobby Johnson asked me to the prom and I would need it for my gown and shoes that I had already picked out. He was such a dreamboat. And why in the world had I decided I loved little kids? What had brought out this nurturing thing in me? I just loved them to pieces, and I had always hated the little rugrats. I confess I do believe my plan of rebellion has failed. Somehow, I have become that which I feared the most, a pretty, popular girl who revels in her femininity every minute of the day. If I had known all the pleasures that awaited me, I doubt they would have needed to threaten me with a court order after all. Sometimes in study hall, I would find myself scribbling on my notepad, Jessie and Johnson. Well, just trying it on for size. A girl can dream, can't she? Mark is just so cute. The end.
Please subscribe for the next part and visit my Patreon page for early access.